Commander's log. Stellar date 4, 22, 52, 46, 27, 85. The galaxy is at war. Humanity has angered an insectoid species called the targoid. They have launched an assault on the edge of the bubble, and they're spreading fast. Here we have been working tirelessly to integrate Assistant into the Destiny system. My engineers assures me that the ship is ready, and some of the scientists requested to come aboard to continue their work on Assistant. Meanwhile, Control has assigned us a new mission. We just lost contact with the Machiro system. Intelligence gathers that at least 11 ships were destroyed in this system in the past 24 hours. There are potentially thousands of lives at stake. We need to rendezvous with the rescue ship Yoshida, one of the many medical ships requisitioned to be part of the relief effort. First, we'll make a small detour to pick up the latest intel on enemy position so we can refit our load appropriately. We'll join Machiro from there and try to evacuate as many as we can.
Commander on the bridge.
Number 1, get us out of here.
Aye, Commander. Elms requests permission for departure. Elms, take us out.
Yes, sir. Commander, I'm glad we're leaving. Where are we going?
220 light years from here, in the Machiro system. I'm sending you the coordinates now. Comms, start a ship-wide broadcast.
Yes, Commander. Broadcast initiated.
Attention crew, this is your commander speaking. I know you are afraid, you want to make the targoids suffer, but right now I need you all focus on our mission. There's a lot of refugees out there. They need our help. Stay alert and prepare for the worst.
Our route has been computed, sir.
Warp factor 7. Engage.
You are cleared to resume predetermined flight path. Imperial Flight Operations Bureau, now signing off.
Acknowledged. Thank you for your hospitality.
Number 1, you have the bridge. I'll be finishing my log.
I take my post, sir.
So basically, as you can see in my GitLab profile, I've been busy in integrating Assistant inside the operating system. So let me show you. So when you go into my groups, I have this group called Vazar Technologies, and it contains everything. And under technologies, you can find Assistant, Say, and Listen, which is the 3 software you need, plus the domain management tool that you need to speak and listen to your assistant. This allows your assistant to speak, and this allows assistant to listen what you say, and this is for the conversation. I'm gonna explain everything, don't worry, just we have time for that. On my GitHub profile, I have a GitLab profile and a GitHub profile. I know it's weird, but I prefer it like that. And so I have a lot of repositories, and it's more like other people's software here, and on GitLab it's my software that you can find. But on GitHub you can become a sponsor of Vazar Technologies, of me, and for $5 a month you can get access to my pre-built ISO, which is what I'd like to do, is to make an ISO of my distribution of Linux that comes with Assistant, Listen, Say, and basically when you boot, Assistant is there and it greets you and it says, hello, what would you like to do? And it can help you do everything you'd like to do. we're not there yet. It's in progress. I have already a release, but it's not automated, and basically it's 6 GB and I'm limited by GitHub to up to 2 GB images, so I've divided up, and you can just basically make it one again easily, and it's quite easy. Then you have an ISO, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can either like etch it onto a stick or a DVD or something, or put directly from it, I can imagine, from a virtual drive or from a virtual machine. Here is a GNOME machine, but don't use GNOME machine because you don't have access to the GPU. It's better to use a QVM. But anyway, it's just an example, and you can also build it yourself with the custom profile called Destiny. It's on GitLab and under profiles for my architecture. And yeah, you follow the steps and you can build it yourself. Just if you don't want to become, because this is private. If you can only access this repository to download it if you become a sponsor, but you can build it yourself for free if you want, just to try it. You can also just use pip to install Assistant, but a requirement of Assistant is the domain management tool, and to install the domain management tool you can also use pip, but the domain management tools needs Rasa installed in the path. So go install Rasa, and yeah, you can, but it needs Python 3.9 as a maximum version. So since I use Python 3.10, I had to basically I had to create my own packages. If you look at Python Assistant, I have created my own package, and I have also created DMT. And as you can see, one of these dependency is Rasa, and I've created this package which is called Rasa, and it uses Python 3.8 instead of virtual environment, so it's quite heavy. So the image is quite heavy, unfortunately, because I have to basically create 2 Python version, which is quite annoying. But that's Rasa, unfortunately for you. Anyway, so get Rasa installed, and then you can install the domain management tool. It doesn't need to be installed in the same environment as Rasa, as long as Rasa is installed in the path. So Assistant use which Rasa to find Rasa, and I'm using this Rasa actually. Okay, so of course you can follow me on GitHub, that would be nice. You can also become sponsor if you'd like, not only for the distro. Don't do it now if you want a pre-built image. It's not working yet, but we are close to it. It's almost working. I know. I have it almost working, and the version that's uploaded, it takes quite some time, so I want to automate it. So it's not the same that build it yourself, basically. That's what I mean. Or better yet, just don't use my profile for now until it works. And it's better that you use pip, as I said. You can just pip install Assistant and read the documentation, because you need to start some services. If you want to install run the listen service, you need listen, obviously, here, and say to speak, okay? And now I'm gonna make you a small demonstration kinda and show you how I've updated the client and everything based on the snapshot I've showed you, the sneak peek I've made. I've updated quite a lot since then, so just let me show you.
Commander, we just arrived in orbit of Upsilon Aquaria 2.
So, the first thing you need to do if you want to talk with your voice is to start the STT services. And for that, you need to install them. You need PyAudio for that. Then you pip install STT listen, and then you can use the listen program if you want, but we're just interested in the server. So it's a service, so you should run it as a service, but for this example I'm gonna run it manually with Python. I'm gonna specify the language as English because my default language for the system is French, because I speak French to Assistant, as weird as it sounds. So yeah, you have to specify manually, but if your system is in your language, you don't have to specify, you can just run the service, alright? So you run that, it's pretty quick, and it just uses the model. As you can see, I use the custom model for English from myself. The next thing you need to do is to run the say service, same as listen but to speak. So it's the speak service. You need to install, you get pip tts say, and then you can play with it, but we are just interested in the service again. Just for listen, you need to authorize the system to listen. So in this config file that you see here, you need to set this variable to true, because it's set to false by default, because we don't want to record you without your consent. So yeah, change that, start the server, and then you can use the listen program as I said, but we are interested in the service only. For say is the same, you need also to authorize the system to speak here, so it's another file but in the same directory, and you have to set this set this variable to true also. Then you can start the server like I'm gonna do now. As you can see, I also specify, it's a bit different but it's the same. It takes a bit longer, but it's alright. Just let it start. And now we need to use the domain management tool. So this is the brain of the operation, if you want to say. You need to install it. So as I said, you need to install Rasa, and then you can install the domain management tool. You make sure if you do reach Rasa, something pop-ups, okay? And it doesn't matter if it's not the same, but something needs to pop up. Then what you need to do is to add a domain. If you click here, you can search domains. I have not created a lot for now, just 3 for English and 3 for French. I have more. I have created more over time, but I cannot share them just like that because they wouldn't work for you, just if I would share them like that. So I'm gonna create more, but you need to help me create more. Like the domain management tools allows you to create domains using a template I have created for you to create domains. It's really easy, and I'm gonna make a special video for that, but you can read the documentation I've wrote. It's pretty alright. Anyway, once you have added your domain, you need to validate the data, and then you can train the data to create a model based on your domains. on your installed domain. So if I look at the list of installed domains, as you can see, I speak French, so it gave me in French. So I want the list of installed domain, but for English. And as you can see, I have web search, I have system, and Smalltalk. Smalltalk is required. System is required for when you install it on bare metal. It's the domain that does the translation. And web search is for searching on the web. Once you have validated the data and there is no error, you can train the models, and it's gonna take a bit of time, but once it's trained, you can do it online. You can serve it, and that's what we're gonna do. That's a shortcut to this command, okay? And I'm gonna just specify it. I want it in English again. So let's go. Again, it's a service, so you should enable it like this. There is no configuration you should create or something. The DMT does everything for you. Just let it load. It takes a while to load, so just let it load. And especially the first time you load it, it needs to do a lot. So there is a lot of models to download. It's gonna download the pre-trained models for you if you don't have any, and if your language are available, they're just English and French for now. So as I said, help me create more. If you can easily translate system to begin with, and then you can you take system in English. Where is it? Smalltalk. You take Smalltalk in English, you translate it into your language, and then you translate system. Where is system? Yeah, in French, but anyway. I've not added the. Anyway, it's up and running. Good. So now that so now we could talk with assistant if you wanted, but we need another few. Yet, not yet. We need assistant as a service yet. So let me show you. So as I said, we have taken care of the domain management tool, have say and listen. So now we have installed assistant. That's what you do if you're using Arch-based distro, like Singularity or Manjaro or Arch. You need to start the service, and that's how you can do it in manually here. So we're gonna do that, and we also do the optionally to listen. It's this one. We have done this one already. We need this one. Okay. And I can speak now.
I understand. Hope we can chat again soon.
And we can see that assistant is trying to recognize what I'm saying. Give me the time.
It's 19 for 5.
How far is the center of the galaxy?
I will report back to you once I have an answer.
Make it quick.
But I think I found the answer. The point that everything revolves around.
Yes, it's called Sagittarius.
Alright.
Great. Anyways,
Hello there.
that's a...
Don't be too excited.
Yeah.
Yo, should 9 kilometers dead ahead, sir.
And you can still talk with assistant. Assistant, are you there?
I am functioning within normal parameters.
Alright, so that was not the smoothest. At least it's better than the sneak peek I've released. Leave a comment and subscribe.
Welcome on board, Commander. We are happy to have you and your crew with us in such belligerent times. Speaking of the devil, Petrov has a surprise for Destiny. Tell your tactical officers and gather your best team of engineers. We are going to overhaul your defense system to inflict more damages to targets, and convert 80% of your cargo hull into cabins, for the potential refuges you might encounter.
Commander, we're grateful for the intel you brought with you. We had it deciphered on the spot. 2 more rock signal sources have reached human space, wreaking similar destruction to the Tyrannus Maelstrom. The Maelstroms, as these entities have been classified, both manifested as enormous gaseous clouds. These are known to be extremely hazardous to any ship venturing too close, but the nature of what lies within remains unknown. As with Tyrannus, each new Maelstrom preempted staggering numbers of Targoid vessels flooding nearby populated systems. Recent reports indicate that the alien fleets have completely dominated 9 systems in the sector. Starports, settlements, and outposts have all been devastated or abandoned, with the total number of casualties unknown but feared to be considerable. A total of 16 systems are currently facing active Targoid invasions and are transmitting emergency calls for assistance. West Humi gas ships, such as the Yoshida, have been designated as the gateway destination for refugees. The superpowers have also positioned Intixino capital ships to defend Allied, federal, and imperial territories that have been invaded. All media channels have expressed grave concerns about the remaining ROG signal sources, which are en route to the core systems. It is expected that these will establish 5 more Maelstroms, each generating a new wave of Targoid forces. With the combined death toll rapidly climbing, civil and military authorities alike are scrambling to implement a suitable response. Your mission is to get inside the mature system, find out what's happening, gather as much intelligence as you can, and help any survivor to escape. Good luck, Commander.
We have been ambushed by a Targoid patrol, and we almost didn't make it. Destiny managed to escape our aggressor by jumping into Machida. For how long? We are now in unknown territory and we urgently need to find a place to repair the ship.
Shields at 80%. Hull is barely holding at 21% strength. 1 energy cell and 1 maintenance unit field have been destroyed. Survival system have been destroyed and have caused a leak. There's less than 10 minutes of oxygen remaining on board.
Commander, sensors have been damaged. I cannot scan anything in the system.
Helms, target the beacon.
Aye, Commander. Target acquired.
Engage the target. Distance 2 kilometers.
Chargement FSB en cours. Prêt pour activer. 4, 3, 2, 1. Activation.
Contact.
None yet, sir.
Keep an eye out.
Beacon 2 kilometers ahead.
Receiving data from the beacon. They're cutting.
Yellow alert. Stay on your guard.
They're all dead, sir. Everything has been destroyed. We shouldn't stay here. The Targos have the system under their control now. Sir, there's a human ship approaching. They've just launched a drone at us. It's a repair drone.
That won't fix our canopy.
I've located a settlement. Panon Depot. It's still emitting. 4.6 light years from here. In the HEP 25679 system.
Helm, take us there.
Yes, sir.
Engineering, can you give us more oxygen?
Way ahead of you, sir. I might be able to buy us about 10 extra minutes.
10 minutes? I'll take them. Okay, do what you can. It's now or never, engineering.
I know. I just need a bit more time.
You have less than a minute.
It's done. Also, that's more like 9 minutes. But who's counting?
We have lost line of sight with the target. The ship is peaking speed. I've tried to land manually. Raise for impact. We have missed Cunningham Depot by 3.3 millimeters.
You cooked up the drives. We can't go anywhere until they aren't back online.
Can you repair the ship?
Not with the pieces I've got on board. And we can't repair the canopy. It needs to be replaced.
Understood. Reboot the ship and start making basic repairs.
Are you sure you want to reboot and start repair procedures?
Confirmed.
Rebooting, please wait. Sensors are back only. Reboot is almost complete. Commander, one Targoid ship just exited subspace right behind our starport.
Engineering, I want the shield back online. Make it your priority.
Evasive maneuvers. Ready the weapons. Deploy the fighter.
Delay that order.
Commander.
We are in no shape to fight a Targoid, especially if he has the element of surprise. Comms, send a distress signal to Cunningham Depot. Helm, take us as close as you can. Quickly.
Aye, Commander.
The enemy just launched another energy spur.
We are losing control.
Drives are back only. I'm getting us out of here.
We are being impounded by a factor of 30 mass. We need to create more distance between us to be able to jump.
I'm trying.
We just lost propulsion. Engineering, we need it fixed to get out.
I'm on it.
An explosion has been reported on decks 2 and 3. Those sections have been sealed.
So the ship won't be able to take a beating much longer. Hull strength is at 2%, and it's still falling.
Shields are back online.
We've limped ourselves like that for about 200 kilometers until a patrol from Cunningham Depot found our distress signal and managed to distract the targeted ship long enough to escort us back to relative safety, where we could repair the ship and start evacuating our lost people. We need to evacuate 32 people to the rescue ship Bertinger in the Tarak Tor system. We'll have to make multiple trips if we want to save more people. I'll also continue to work on a system and keep you up to date. I'll see you out there, Commander. Vazer out.